Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. How was your day? Sunday?
Very nice.
Did you all spend good time with your family?
No.
Yeah, you were because very seriously listening to the classes. It's okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
I know.
Yes.
So fine. So you had your 3 classes today?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Then, Rajani said good afternoon. Good afternoon, Rajani. And the other one also said Moksha. Haripriya said good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Shireen. Yeah, this is paper 5. Okay, Yashoda said good afternoon. Tejasvi, hello. All of you, hello. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Okay, so now yesterday, are you all ready with your notes, with your pen, everything?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good. Okay, good. Okay, so nice. All of you, did you have your lunch, proper lunch?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good, nice.
Yes,
Nice. I had my coffee also just before I started off. All right. Yesterday we completed one text. What was that?
The second coming Easter.
Easter
Birthday party.
1916, and
Theatre of
then we have understood the features of absurd theatre.
we have understood the features of abstract drama, which is for both Waiting for Godot and the birthday party.
Right. We tried to understand the features of absurd theater, what absurdity is, and what made the writers write such kind of dramas where the theme and all is meaninglessness of life during the 20th century, when everyone is running after the existence and has forgotten about the essence of life. And we also understood that the language spoken there is not fully powerful, but it is like broken sentences. It's just in syllables or just sounds. Then the setting is not very of high, as like the gardens or of the palaces, or nothing of such kind, but a small room or a drawing room, or maybe outside somewhere, a strange place where we can't even associate the place with. So this is something which I can associate myself. It's not something which we really like. Maybe a dry place, or a tree which is bare without any leaves, or just a drawing room which is dark. The setting goes with the mood. Okay, that's what we have understood. And going along with the lines of literature of 20th century that reflected the society, which was just broken into heap of bits and fragments and just pieces. Even this absurd theater is reflecting that kind of society. So now let us go to understanding this text called The Birthday Party by Harold Pinter. Now, generally, when we try to understand the very title, we try to situate the title within the context. The birthday party is very bright. What does it connotate? It connotates happiness, celebration, togetherness, people coming in to greet you, good food, everything good. That's what the birthday parties signify. But in absurd theater is the title, the birthday party, connotating the same kind of equations like celebration or togetherness or happiness. Are we finding that in this context? When we are locating this in absurd drama, are we really able to understand the party
No, ma'am.
to be something which is absolutely, wonderful? No. So let us see. And we also understood that the characters don't really have a proper characterization done by the dramatist. We cannot really understand the character sketch properly, as the situations are not really lending us to understand the depth of the character. If you take the example of maybe a hero, you would know that he is powerful, he is dynamic, he is enterprising, he loves his family, he goes to any extent to save his lady love, and then he is a very righteous person, and he is a responsible, family-oriented person. So when such kind of characters are defined, we are able to sketch the character, the contours of the character. But here in absurd theater, we really don't get to understand the character, because the character is not fully defined for us to go deep and try to comprehend what his personality is about. We can't do that. We can't do that. We are not. One second. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
I got a call saying that I have election duty. Oh, they have drafted me for election duty. These GHMC elections. I'm so upset. We can't run away from it, isn't it?
Congratulations, ma'am.
Oh, it's very difficult, ma. Election duty is very difficult. And you can't run away from the duty also. Just now they called me and told me that election duty is given to me. It's okay. Who is saying how? Then what? How? How is okay? No problem. We will do what to do. We will have to wear mask and then that face shield, and then I'll carry a full bottle of sanitizer with me and tissues. What to do? We'll carry everything because we can't run away from the government duty, isn't it? I will be safe. Thank you, Tejaswi. Definitely, I will be safe. Maybe I will wear gloves also. That's better, no? To wear gloves and shield and then all the other things I will wear. You can't just run away. Pandemic, I know, I understand. This is so absurd, no? Okay. So we have in this birthday party, let us go to understand who these characters are. Okay, who these characters are. There is a man in his late 30s. Okay, his name is Stanley. Stanley is the man in his late 30s, and there is a large kind of a boarding house. Okay, there is a boarding house which is run by a man and a woman, probably husband and wife. The man's name is Petty, P-E-T-E-Y, Petty, and his wife is Meg, M-E-G, Meg. Both of them are in their 60s, maybe they are around 60, 65 years old, and Stanley is in his 30s, late 30s. So what Stanley is doing in this boarding house, he is a guest in the boarding house. Stanley is a guest in the boarding house run by this old couple, Petty and Meg. Now, this is, where is this boarding house? It is on a seaside, it is on a beach somewhere in the English town, probably some far off from London. And why is this man, Stanley, in the lodge or in the boarding house? Does he have any work, or does he have any work in this place, or is he just resting, or does he have any business? We don't know. Okay, now we have many questions to which we have no answers. If there is anybody who has gone to a lodge or a boarding house, it means that this is a temporary stay. Okay, this is a temporary stay for Stanley. And as we look at Stanley, when he walks down the staircase from his first floor bedroom down into the restaurant. Okay, the restaurant is on the ground floor. The kitchen and then the tables are all there on the ground floor, and the rooms are situated on the first floor. So as the drama opens, we see Stanley walking down the staircase. How does he appear to us? In a very not very neatly dressed. Stanley is not neatly dressed. His spectacles and then his dress is totally crumpled, and his hair is unkempt. It looks as if he straight walked out from his bed. So it also shows that he is not in a proper mental condition. Okay, if somebody is coming down to the restaurant to have the breakfast, they would at least keep themselves neat, presentable. But the way he has presented himself in that very crumpled dress, pajamas, and then the hair is totally unkempt, it we have to understand from this particular point that he is in a very confused state, or maybe he is not in a very happy mood, or maybe he is not worried or concerned about his presentation, neat presentation, physical presentation. Okay, then as he comes down, he overhears the conversation between, as he has his breakfast, he overhears the conversation between the old man and the old woman. They are the, we know that they are the owners of this boarding house. That two strangers have come in the morning to just find out whether they can have a room in this in this boarding house, whether they can rent a room for themselves in this boarding house. The minute he hears this, Stanley is shaken. Why should anybody come here? Who are they? Why do they want to rent a room here? Is there no other boarding house nearby? Why have they chosen this? These questions buzz around him. Now, when such questions he is battling with, we readers or we audience are troubled with, why should he be worried? After all, this is a boarding house and people come here to rent the rooms. This is meant to be, renting rooms, and this is a place where strangers come, rent the rooms and stay. Why should it trouble him? So it means that he is worried and concerned about strangers coming here. It means he is running away from something. What is he running away from? Did he commit any mistake? Did he commit any serious mistake against the society, against the family, against the government, against the state? We don't know. But we have had now a clue that he wants to be away from the normal mainstream society, and this place he had chosen to hide himself. That's why when he had heard that two strangers are going to come to take this house, one room in this house for rent, he is worried. Then he goes to this lady, older lady, and he asks her. The old lady seems to be very concerned about him, about his food habits. And then she says, did you have enough? And then the kind of talk between this old lady and Stanley is very curious. One sentence, it shows that she is behaving like a mother. In the other sentence, it shows that she is behaving like a flirt, like she is flirting with Stanley. So that confusion is there now. Now, what kind of relationship is there between Meg and Stanley is not established, because 1 minute she is behaving like a mother, the next minute she is behaving like a lover. So that is a very ambiguous relationship. So everything about the entire scene is ambiguous, okay? Absurd also. You might have, how can a 60-year-old woman flirt with a 30-year-old man? That itself is, laws of moral values and loose moral setup. That's where we are all heading towards, right? Then he goes on. But then there is a packet which Meg, the old lady, gives to Stanley. She says this is a gift packet which the neighborhood girl Lulu had given to Stanley, to be given to Stanley on his birthday. So today is Stanley's birthday, and so he opens it, the gift packet which the neighborhood girl has given to Stanley on his birthday. So when he opens it, he just finds a toy drum. It's a toy drum. When you wind the key, the drum, the small little fellow who sits in front of the drum starts beating the drum. And when the key it comes to a full circle, the drumming gets stopped. And again, you have to wind the key. So this is a toy drum. Once he looks at the toy drum, he is like, he's not very happy. Why did this girl give him a gift? And how does that girl know that it is my birthday? Is it my birthday today? He doesn't even know that it is his birthday. So the question of existence, the question of survival is so deep here that he doesn't even realize that it is his birthday. So days are just passing by and they are so insignificant to him that the most important supposed to be for people who celebrate birthdays, it is an important day, milestone, but he doesn't even remember his birthday. It is indicating to us that he is so down with many other issues that are tormenting him that he doesn't remember his birthday. Okay? And the gift of the toy drum is also very ridiculous. A fully grown up man in his late 30s has been given the gift of a toy drum. So there is no relation between his age and the gift that he had received. So it is so absurd. And that the toy drum also has to work only when it is initiated by somebody. It is if it is the key is wound fully, only then it works. In the same way, this human being's life also is worthless unless an external force applies some kind of an energy on you. You don't really move. There is no mobility within you. There is no stimulation within you. Only when an external stimulus is applied on you, you are able to be mobile and stimulated, just like the toy. Only an external force acts on it, and then the key is wound. Only then the toy drum starts working. And once the key, that cycle is completing its full term, it's coming to a standstill. In the same way, this man also has forgotten about himself, about his internal stimulation, and then the mobility, and all that he has forgotten, and that he requires an external force to be applied upon him. That is the kind of symbolism which we can try to derive from the gift that he had got. Are you all okay with it until now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Is there any confusion? Try to place the situation of Stanley as a man who is getting sandwiched between many conditions in the society. Okay, economical conditions or forces, outside external forces. He is being crushed, like how Joan was crushed between the two severe big forces. Isn't it? Was Joan crushed? Was Joan crushed? Yes? Yes. In the same way, human beings do not have any access to themselves. Okay, they have become like the toys in the hands of the external forces. Now, are you able to relate the symbolism of the toy given to him on his birthday? Thus,
Ma'am.
a human being is, he has become so incapable. Most important point, he has become incapable and devoid of any possibilities. He had become incapable, devoid of any probable possibilities, and only the external forces are acting on him. This is very important symbolism, my dear students. Then
Excuse me,
this,
ma'am.
yeah, please.
These external forces are the forces, are we referring to God over here?
No. There is no God in absurd theater. Okay. Okay.
No, because
Rahman,
he is directly, yeah.
no, the
Yes, ma'am.
external forces are, I told you that it could be the state, it could be the government, it could be some agency run by the human beings, a very powerful organization.
Okay, ma'am. Any
Okay.
deed that he has done wrong, which is
Yes.
related
Why is he running away? What is he running away from? Okay. It could be an agency, it could be an organization, it could be a group, it could be a team, it could be the state government, it could be the anything, not God. Okay, fine, Rahman. Are you
Yes, ma'am.
fine? Okay, you
Yeah,
understood
yes,
this, right? Then
Yes,
these two people enter. Who are these two people? Their names, take down their names. One is Goldberg, 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 Berg. He is in his 50s. Okay. Then we have the other man, McCann, 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 McCann. He is in his 30s. Okay, if you have observed, there is no young like 10-year, 15-year children here. So these two people, these are the supposed to be the strangers. They have come to the boarding house, and then they declare that this evening they are going to have a birthday party. It is when Stanley sees them, Stanley comes back. He went outside, and by the time he comes back to the boarding house, these two men are already there sitting in the restaurant. On seeing Stanley, they then start questioning him. It's like on seeing them, Stanley's behavior suddenly begins to become erratic. Okay, he starts breaking into small syllables. And then there is tremendous anger mixed with pain, all mixed emotions we can see on his face. Then they start asking him questions. Who are you? They said, we have come for you. Oh, we'll celebrate your birthday. First, they said, it is your birthday. We have come to celebrate your birthday in this evening. We will have a grand party and all that. Then, very difficult questions, very absurd questions they ask him. Like, okay, why did you leave the organization? One asks. The next question is, why didn't you join the organization? Then, why aren't you married? No, why are you married? Such meaningless, incoherent questions without any relation between these two questions. Like, why haven't you joined the organization? Followed by, why did you join the organization? Why are you married? Followed by, why did you get married? Why did you not give birth to children? Followed by, how many children do you have? And then, why did the chicken cross the road? Which do you think has come first, egg or the chicken? Such meaningless questions. For us, it may sound very absurd. Okay, first he tries to give away answers, but then the flow of the questions becomes so powerful, so overbearing that they are looming over him. Like, you imagine this man is sitting in between and the other two men are slowly closing in on him like the external forces. They are going closer to him physically, emotionally, psychologically, troubling him through these questions. And finally, when questions like, why did which came first, the egg or the chicken? Now you may ask this, what is this question? This is an important question. Like, we all are really been listening to this question. Which came first, the egg or the chicken? That entire question of existentialism, what came first, the egg or the chicken, is this question encapsulates the very concept of existentialism. Like, what came first? What should precede what? What should succeed what? Like our, no, don't we have such questions like, does existence come first or the essence? Yesterday, did we discuss this? What should be given preference? Should the existence be given preference or the essence be given preference? What should follow what? What should follow what? So if we say chicken is the existence, egg becomes the essence. Isn't it? From the egg, the chicken had been hatched. So should we believe in the chicken coming first, or chicken had given the egg? And from the egg, another chicken had come. What is this? It's a big question. The whole universe is after this question. No, what came first? From the egg, the chicken had come, or from the chicken, the egg had come. What is important? Is essence important or the existence important?
Existence.
Okay, existence is important. So then what will happen? So if existence is important, where is the existence coming from? Tell me. It should come from the essence. And with see, isn't it very absurd now? Are you able to approach at that point?
Yes, ma'am.
My dear students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have understood this question as the entire problem of absurdity is encapsulated within this concept of, Anita, please switch off your mic. Naid Khan also. Jyoti also. Because it is echoing. My voice is echoing. Jyoti Sudhakar, Nahid Khan.
Mine is switched off.
Now you switched it off. Jyoti Sudhakar, please switch it off because, right. Okay. So now you should be able to understand this question as, now yesterday we discussed existence. Is existence important or essence important? Now if we say essence is important, so you only egg is there. Okay, only egg is there. What about the chicken? Only chicken is there. How did it come? Where did it come from? That is the major problem of absurdity. What comes first is this concept of chicken and egg is encapsulating the whole theory of existentialism, and which is connected with the absurdity. And then he's like, he's covering under the two of them. He is bringing his two shoulders together and slowly pulling his entire body towards himself, huddling his body together as if he is trying to protect himself from the external forces. So the external forces that act upon the human being are symbolized in the form of these two people. Who are these two people? The Goldberg and McCann. They are the external forces acting upon an individual. So Stanley is the example of a symbolic representation of any individual who is getting crushed in this kind of a life. It can be you, it can be anybody, it can be me, it can be anybody. Stanley is like representative figure. And these two people, Goldberg and McCann, are the symbolic representations of the strong external agencies. Okay, and then the way he is trying to run away from them, but he is not able to because they have closed upon him so physically, exerting their kind of physical domination and authority by way of exerting on Stanley by affecting his psychology and affecting his emotions. Psychologically, he is now feeling so low. He is torn psychologically by the impact of the external forces. And then they say, yes, today is his birthday party. Let us play a game. They force upon him. They make him feel so inferior. Now he is psychologically so low and down, and he starts behaving like a toy in their hands. Whatever they ask him to do, he is doing it mechanically, like the key that turns the drum. Now you got the point, my dear students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. How is he behaving in their hands? Just like the toy drum. So toy drum is immobile on its own unless an external force is applied on it. This man also has become so immobile. Now he has become like a toy, and they are winding his key and asking him to do different things. Like, let us play a game now. They say, Lulu comes from the neighbor's house. She has been invited. So, or suddenly she makes an entry and she joins the birthday party. Now the birthday party begins. Now, what is this birthday party? Please don't expect any kind of celebrations. Okay, balloons and then decoration and cake cutting and champagne and all this. They don't have any place here in the Absurd Theatre. So they said, now we will play a game as a part of the birthday party. We will play the blind man's buff. It means they blindfold you and then release you. You become blind because of the cloth that has been covered, that they have covered your eyes with. And then they release you, that you have to go and find people. So this Stanley has become the scapegoat in the hands of these two strangers. What they do is they blindfold him and then they release him. So as he starts moving, now it looks as if the key has been given. The key has been wound fully, and this Stanley is behaving like a toy in their hands. So he starts moving around to find anybody. We also played that game. Then his leg gets struck in. It gets stuck in the toy drum. Okay, it gets stuck in the toy drum, and then he starts dragging his foot, and then there is the power cut. Suddenly there is power cut. Okay, and the entire place goes dark. It is now fully dark. Nobody can see anybody. But there is suddenly a scream of Lulu, and then the lights come back. The power comes back. Why did Lulu scream? It's because this man, Stanley, has found Lulu, and in this game, okay, blindfold game, he could put his hand on Lulu. And when he came to know that it is a girl that he had laid his hand on, the animal instinct within him, because of the environment, okay, because he has been reduced into a mechanical entity, not a human being. Please try to understand the kind of words I am using here. This Stanley has been, his status has been reduced to a mechanical toy piece, devoid of any human qualities and human emotions. The instinctive beast that is there within him has suddenly come out as he touched the girl. So what he did was, he tried to rape that girl. Then he, when the lights are switched on, he is seen on Lulu, and of course, he hadn't come. He was just trying to bend over her. At that point of time, the lights are switched on, and the girl is screaming, and this fellow doesn't even realize, Stanley doesn't even realize what is he up to. He doesn't even realize that he had stooped so low that he doesn't even realize what had happened to him. He was under the influence of the external forces of the society, that he had become a toy without any critical capacity of his own. He had lost the critical thinking capacity of his own, and he is now devoid of any human instincts and emotions, and he had lost all that is human within him, because he is in the hands of the external forces. The external forces are acting on him. They are exerting such influence on him that he had lost his identity. Isn't it absolutely symbolic?
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it wonderful to understand it? Is it confusing you?
No, ma'am.
No, only Nahid had said. What about the others?
Clear, ma'am.
Good, very good. I thought, this. Then he is acting. This person is acting in a way that he had lost all the senses of his own. Then they say, okay, this fellow has lost his senses. We will take him with us. We will teach him. We will give him some kind of counseling. We will give him some kind of orientation so that he will come back to being himself. Then they take him upstairs. Okay? Then the night passes by. You don't know what had gone within the confines of the room, where they have taken him to brainwash him, to give him some orientation, to counsel him. We don't know. Nothing we know about what happened in the night. In the morning, again, they come down to have their breakfast. Okay? As they walk down, we find now not the two of them, but three of them. Goldberg, McCann, and followed by Stanley. Now, how was Stanley yesterday when he walked down the stairs to have his breakfast in his pajamas, totally unpresentable, in his unkempt hair, disheveled hair. But today, as we see, when he is following these two people climbing down the stairs, he is wearing in an impeccable suit and boot, suited and booted, and his hair has been thoroughly groomed. He is so neatly presenting himself, but he seems to be not in his world. Okay, he is just following as if his key has been wound. Okay, he is too neatly. Who has groomed his hair? Who has given him this suit? These two people. So they come down and then they take him out. The car comes. The car is waiting, and then they take him in the car. Both of them get into the car, and Stanley also follows them. He sits in the car, and the car drives away. The car drives away. Then Meg and the old couple again. Now, where did this fellow, where did they take him? What happened to him? Now, they could have stopped, actually. Why are you taking him? Do you have any relationship with him? Anything of that might have come from the two, but they haven't asked. He was just taken away. He went, the car is gone, and that's all. And then Pete remains silent. But maybe this old man knows the knowledge of Stanley's departure. Maybe this old man knows that Stanley is being taken away by the external forces. Where is he being taken to? Maybe is he being taken to a place where he would be killed? Or is he being kidnapped? Or would he be used to as an agent in very dark and shadowy practices? We don't know, but he has become a symbolic toy in the hands of the external forces. Now we can also take this as, no, he is thoroughly groomed, his hair has been neatly kept, and maybe like the way we send a dead person when he is on his last journey, how he is given a bath and how he is given new clothes. In the same way, he is given new clothes and he is given a thorough bath and he has been given a nice grooming, and they are taking him in the car as if the car is the last vehicle which carries him on his last journey. That's the end of this birthday party. It is a comedy of menace. It is an absurd drama. Okay, and there is full of ambiguity of time, ambiguity of place, ambiguity of identity, and then the language is broken, disintegration. It's broken. There is no proper orientation. There is no beginning. There is no middle. There is no end. Who is Stanley? We don't know. Who are these two people? We don't know. Everything is an open-ended kind of a thing, which only leads to further more questions. So absurd theater is only opening the gates of many questions that haunt us every day in this 21st century, where we are being exposed to such kind of external forces. Highly symbolic, wonderful play if you really understand it. But if you are reading it on your own, okay, if you are reading it on your own, it is like totally gone. You will not be able to get the idea behind it. You will not be able to understand that what is there in it. They come and take him away. If you are reading it, it sounds like this. But when you are trying to peel off the layers symbolically and situate this entire play in that absurd and existential kind of questions, then we can relate it. Yes, this is the kind of life. We are all leading such kind of lives, absurd lives. We are not enjoying our own identity. We are either identified with an agency, we are identified with an organization, we are identified with a group. We are not identified as one single unit, as one single individual, as one single entity. We do not have any identity. And this question of existentialism is haunting us because every other external force is acting on us. except the God. We have not given God any space. Had we given God his space and time in our lives, definitely we would not be discussing the problems of existentialism. We would be discussing the essence. We would be discussing the spirit. We would be discussing the soul, which are related with all that, we attribute it to the God. But we have removed God from our lives. That's why the problem, which came first, becomes a problem to us when we are removing God. But when we are associating ourselves with God, then the problem of existentialism doesn't arise, because we know that essence should come first. Without the essence, there is no existence. Did you get the point, my dear friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. If you have understood the birthday party, it means you are very, very good now with your MA English, understanding of literature. You have understood why wasteland so well. All these are so complex, I'm telling you. 20th century literature is very complex. And every text you are able to understand, including wasteland, which is like a huge machine falling on you, but yet you could understand it. And this birthday party also you are able to very clearly understand. So I am so happy for that you are very, very beautifully aligning yourselves, and very peacefully your journey has taken off. Good. Okay. Do you have any, Anita?
Pretty close to you, ma'am. Ma'am, pretty
Yes.
close to you, ma'am.
Oh, don't give me that credit, please, because
We understand.
I'm only an agent.
You made it easy for us, ma'am.
Explanation, ma'am.
It's not like that, my dears. You are seriously listening to me. That is helping you. If you are not listening, then it will not help you. So, on both sides, the balance should be equal. Okay? So, it should be well balanced, and the balance is going well.
Ma'am, these days even there are many shows and movies which are made on the same
See,
aspect. The absurdity is there, even in the shows and the movies that are made these days. We find a plot in it because it just starts from middle, and when we try to understand the concept, and just then the movie or show ends. So it's not that just it was there in the 20th century. Even now in the present times, we are dealing with the same kind
Yes,
of
see, this began, Rahman, this began in the 20th century, and it is still continuing. It began in 20th century and it is still continuing. See, when you are reading 18th century literature or 19th century literature, for example, Ode to the Urn, Grecian Urn, you will not come across the problem of absurdity, because that was written in the late 18th century and the early 19th century, where life was not torn between the questions of existentialism. It was in that period was romanticism. Their love, nature, God, amazing things were a part of their life. Beautiful things were a part of their life. They were enjoying, experiencing the beauty of life in all its forms, be it in the form of nature, in the form of God, in the form of creation, in the form of flowers, in the form of Grecian urn. In every aspect of life, they were able to extract beauty, and they were enjoying that beauty. The life is such a beautiful experience. So in the 18th century, life was highly romantic. You will not get to absurdity until you come to the 20th century. Because slowly you see the society is sliding downwards. It is disintegrating. It is how it began some time ago, how people were all together, how the society was enjoying life around. Everything was so beautiful because everything was in its respective place. But as we started moving towards 19th and 20th centuries, the disintegration, the society started disintegrating and it started moving downwards. The graph is sloping down. Because the graph is sloping down, all these issues are coming up. You are able to get this? In the 18th century and the 19th century, life was very beautiful because they were all enjoying the romantic side of life. You will not get that kind of a romantic side of life in the 21st century because we are embroiled in the absurdities of life. Okay? Because of the society, because of advancements in all the areas, because we have our life is so busy with all the other existential things that we are not giving space for the essence. When the place for the essence is given to it, there would be no problem with existentialism. The problem of existentialism is coming because there is no space for essence. Okay, my dears?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it is sounding like a Mataji Guruji kind of thing, no?
No,
No, ma'am. They're very precise and clear. Very, very,
Neatly.
clearly,
Okay,
clearly and
nice.
neatly explained.
Very good.
Ma'am,
See, it's because
ma'am, I want.
Chapandi. Yes, who is it? Satyavati, yeah?
Yeah, madam. Ma'am, in 20th century, two world wars took place, ma'am.
Yeah,
That's why the people get confused and hopeless.
exactly.
That's why the poets, playwrights also wrote.
They were
like this,
influenced.
ma'am.
They after seeing such kind of problems and issues, the playwrights or the poets wanted to tell the world, see, we are not gods. There is somebody above us. Because man, after the World War I especially, started feeling that he is above everything. Especially because of the technology that was used in the world wars. That Nagasaki and Hiroshima cases, the bomb explosion and how the entire generation has been wiped out. So look at
Japan,
this.
madam.
Yes, in Japan, so the human being started believing in the supremacy or in his own supremacy. That see, with just one button, when I'm just pressing one button, I am able to dictate the destiny of thousands of people. And then the generations together, I am wiping out an entire race from the face of the earth. That's in my hands. When such kind of an idea creeps into man's mind that it is in my hands to decide the destiny of the human beings, nothing can stop him from disintegrating. That is the first step towards his fall. Do you get this point? If a man thinks that I can decide his destiny, who are we? We are after all human beings. But how and then we are created. We didn't just evolve. We didn't just come out like that, pop out from the earth. Okay? And if we think that I can decide the destiny of a different group of people, whether they should exist or should not exist is in my domain, within my purview. I should decide. If that idea comes to the man, don't you think it is dangerous? That thing had happened during the World War. Man felt that I can just blow up a huge machine and then thousands of people would be dead. And if I just press one button, one entire race would be just removed forever. If I am aiming at thousands of bullets are pouring out from the mouth of the gun, and thousands of people are just lying dead in front of my face. This did not happen in the early days because weaponry and all that advanced technology was not used in any of the wars. Earlier, there were wars. Right from the beginning of civilization, there have been wars. No history had ever passed through without witnessing a war. Wars were there, but there was some kind of a dharma. That is, they used to follow some guidelines even in the war. Do you know that? They used to follow guidelines during the war. The women should not be killed. Okay, children should not be killed, and when we should the battle should happen only from the dawn to the dusk. Once the evening starts setting in, we should stop fighting. Okay, all such kind of guidelines they have followed during the war.
Fields were not supposed to be
Exactly. 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 Now, do we have such kind of guidelines? No. Are we following? No. That is why, see, what I am trying to tell is, right from the beginning of the civilization, man had been passing through different wars, but he had followed some stricter guidelines. But now, once when we have entered the 21st century, when the weapons have become sophisticated and advanced, man has set the guidelines. He put the guidelines away, and he started believing that I can do anything, whatever I want to do. I can just drop a bomb in the middle of the night. How can you do? Earlier, it was in the evening you should stop. But today, in the dead of the night, when everybody is sleeping, you are dropping a bomb like a coward. Okay, when they are defenseless. Is it? Are you able to?
Yes,
relate?
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Very good. So that is why we should now start thinking like we should raise our children with that kind of moral values. Tell them the stories, the moral stories that our grandparents used to tell us. No, I was listening to my mother, my grandfather.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
of them at the bedtime they would tell us stories, which all these stories had some message. You should take care of your parents, you should not abandon them. Now nobody has time to tell anybody. That's the problem. The disintegration is the decay, and the disintegration which is happening in the society is very quick and very fast these days. Okay, so it is in the hands of the scholars now like you to rethink on these beautiful lines, and to when you become teachers tomorrow, carry all these kinds of beautiful nuggets of knowledge into the classroom, and along with your classes try to give few pieces of advice to the growing children. That's a part of education. Our teachers were never B.Ed teachers, and we went to small schools, and our teachers they never went to, I'm sure they didn't even receive proper B.Ed training and all that, but they would always bring in the beautiful references during the language classes. Telugu, Hindi, English classes were meant for us to interrogate, introspect ourselves. But today, only where the language classes are just meant for pass. You don't have to give any importance how to write, and then the the grammar, and then the achulu, hallulu, vattulu. They are focusing more on that, but not on the stories.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes,
I got the point. I think you are all able to
Related.
relate.
Related to our day-to-day life. And one more thing, ma'am. These days, as I have also heard stories from my grandpa. I didn't have my grandma, but my grandpa used to say stories and all this stuff. Today, children don't have that patience even to listen. They are like, I want to play this game, I want to go on my tab bag, And they're not even interested in, at least we used to watch cartoon movies, Panchatantra and all the stuff. We were supposed to watch it. We were bought cassettes and we were asked to sit and watch it, and we used to watch it. These days, if I ask my son to watch it, he's like, no, I want to see some, action movie. What is this? It's going so slow.
Yeah, I totally relate with your issue, Nayet. Seriously, during the bedtime, I used to tell my daughter few stories. That really helped her to understand many layers, the personality layers, and we have such a treasure trove of moral lessons. We used to have moral science as a separate class.
It really helps in all the perspectives of life, ma'am. Like deciding something, doing something, dealing with somebody else. If a mistake is done, how to overcome it.
Exactly.
And, it also taught to repent over the mistake. But these days,
there is no repentance.
No, they don't have guilt.
They don't even say sorry.
Yeah, they don't have guilt. Where will the repentance be?
See, I totally agree with you, Ma, because they don't even want to say sorry. If they say sorry, they feel it is egoistic. Their ego is not allowing them to even say sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the birthday party and then all the other texts that we have done, they are all helping us to really interrogate our own generation and align it with the today's generation and try to understand the parallels and also the way these tracks are going wide apart. Okay, so shall we stop here because it's done? Next class, it's going so beautifully. I'm sure.
The Heart of Darkness, ma'am.
The Heart of Darkness, and then the other text, both I will deal. Until now, whatever you have listened to, are you all taking down the notes?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So what you will do is at the time of your exam, just before the exam, you go through these notes and you will feel very comfortable at the time of your exams. This notes taking helps you, my dear. That's why in the first class I told you, don't look into your textbook. Don't go through the pages. You didn't like it, isn't it? I know. Who is this lady? Who is this lady asking us not to look into the textbook? Is asking us not to refer to the book. I know that you had really resented it in the first class, but later how beautifully you have got into the track. Do you agree, Rameshwari?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We are in track, ma'am.
Sabiha, is that your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
So she's so cute, ma. How old is she?
Now she's 4 years.
She's so sweet. Okay then. Okay, fine.
Ma'am, one question.
Anita.
As rightly asked by Zaid, she raised one question, ma'am. Should we use the terminology? How do you assess our answers? Do you assess our answers by the quality or the storyline?
See,
if the story is intact and the language is simple, do you assess on the quality of the answer?
See, we are looking at the question that has been asked and the answer that you have written. We are not asking for the summary of the text. Okay. If you are asked to write the birthday party as an absurd theater, you have to bring in the features of absurdity and associate it with the text birthday party. It's not just that he got up and he got down and he had his breakfast, he went out, 2 people came. All the analysis that I am doing in between, every important act, every important action, is what you should be focusing on. How the symbolism is working, how the features are reflected, the features of absurdity are reflected, what is the significance of this particular act. So you have to focus on that kind of significance, symbolism, why this language, this particular word has been used, what does this quotation mean. Okay, don't write the summary. Nobody is asking you to write the summary. How you have understood it?
Basically, it should be relevant to the question.
Relevant to the question. Okay? And simple language. My language is the simple most language. Whatever language I use now is very simple. But are you not appreciating it?
We are.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just rolling on our tongue.
Yes, ma'am.
Language that you're using repeatedly.
Very simple language I use. But that doesn't mean, okay, you don't like it because I'm using simple language. It's not that. You are liking it because that simple language is helping you.
Yes, ma'am. It is very.
Yes.
Yeah. I can use wonderful vocabulary, but if it is not really helping you, what does that serve the purpose? How does it serve the purpose? It doesn't.
So is it still fine if we are using this language?
See, coherent language, ma. Meaningful language and coherent language. You don't have to shake the earth and the moon. Don't do that. Okay? Meaningful and coherent. It's enough.
Okay, ma'am. Great. Thank you.
I'll take leave, ma, for this week. Have a nice weekend and come back
Thank you,
next week.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
ma'am.
evening, ma'am.
Thank you,
Good
ma'am.
evening. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Not like a chorus. Thank you, ma'am.
Very smart.
Madhavi, can you tell me how many chapters have ma'am finished? Madhavi, are you there?
I guess she started with Wasteland and then St. John